But what they do is when they see somebody who is vocal and they can't pin anything on him, they create stories that are funny and they push it so much, trying to rile up the crowd to speak against you and causing you to forget the important issues in our society. 12-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls are getting pregnant right as I speak now in churches like the Marange Church. And our government knows it. Our government gets votes from Marange Church. They will never speak about it. Think about it. If Pastor Baloyi had gotten a 12-year-old girl pregnant, how many people will be talking about it every day? Even in our church, you must be able to come to me and say, Apostle, we want you to explain this to us. How did this happen? How are these things happening?
Ora, 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 ora. Ndabuda mdeni, ndaloka madozi, ndapita machira, ndapeza kuyabota. Nawo zangu zinotanga ndiri pampeda. Tose gumba ndatoita meta. Ora, ora. Zvakatangana maya kandirumira nemhiripiri. Ora, ora.
Multiplicity of children in the military camps during the Liberation War is evidence that our liberators had not learned about. Number one, the issue of sexually transmitted diseases. Number two, the issue of family planning. Follow me closely. That means there are people who died in the war, not from bullets, but from sexually transmitted diseases. The question is, are they heroes, those people? Are they heroes? The second issue is these girls which went to the war could not be married in the battlefront because it was not allowed in the code. You can't marry another soldier and start a family in the battlefront. So what it means is most of them hopped from one relationship to the other. And some of them simply became promiscuous, sleeping with this one and sleeping with that one. Imagine a vulnerable 16 years old girl who slept with an army general yesterday, tomorrow is being called by a different army general. Would she say no? Obviously, she could not say no. But these who are sleeping with these girls are brothers because of the war. If I remember correctly, they told us that we treated the female soldiers as our sisters. So the sisterhood crumbled. When they arrived at Chimoyo, they became their wives. They became their mistresses. How many men did these women sleep with from the time they arrived until the war ended? The scripture says, and according to the law of godliness, I can't date a woman that Pastor Baloyi dated. It can't be possible. If Pastor Baloyi tells me this girl was once my girlfriend, from that day onwards, she is now my guru or my nini for the rest of our lives. That's true brotherhood. But we are talking about normal human beings now. We are not talking about animals. Remember? So what happens when this girl is being used by different men in the same battleground? What happens is, verse 25, the land becomes defiled. And God will visit the iniquity upon such a defiled land. And for that cause, the land vomits out her inhabitants. Highlight that part. How many inhabitants of our land have been vomited from Zimbabwe? Everyone is a refugee of some sort. If you are not an economic refugee, you are a political refugee. Or you are a spiritual refugee, whatever you want to call yourself. But as long as you are not in Zimbabwe, you are a refugee of some sort. The land is defiled, and God has cursed the nation. And this is why we can't stay in our country. No matter how much we love to, it's impossible. This is the scripture now that I wanted to share with you. And on this scripture, my demands are based. How do we deal with this situation, Apostle Chiwenga? Because we can't ignore it. It happened. The first issue is that our government needs to open a commission of inquiry to establish those who are dead and those who are still alive. How many women gave birth to children, but they went to war. They went out of the country to prosecute the war, to participate in the armed struggle. How many gave birth to children? Are those children alive? Where are those children? As organized as Zanu PF is, they can't recognize, they can't remember who actually participated in the war. It was Tonderai's job to knock at every woman who fought the war alongside his mother, to fill an affidavit, to declare Hilda Mayeka as a liberator. That is shameful. As a person, I am ashamed to be a Zimbabwean. Because if somebody participated in such a great effort, it can't be forgotten. Even Pastor Baloy, if I live for the next 100 years, and Pastor Baloy leaves this world 2 years or 1 year from now, his grandchildren cannot come to me for me to fill an affidavit that he was a pastor in GRM. It's embarrassing. It must be common knowledge. We can't stop talking about him. We worked together. That's not disputable. So these comrades who fought alongside Hilda Mayeka, when they went to receive their own paychecks, they forgot that someone they were fighting alongside is no longer alive. Havana kuzviona here kuti pana asipo, nyorai Hilda Mayeka, mumpe mari yake, munopa mhuri kwake, ane mwana anoda kuenda kuchikoro. Comrade Mandichimene, you failed your comrade. You understand? Yes. It's embarrassing. Kuti munhu anotaura kuti ndaienda kunotsvaga kuti mai vangu vadeclare kuti vakarwa hondo. Ivo vakanga vari mukadzi wapresident. Now, kana vakanga vari mukadzi wapresident vakakanganwikwa, ko vakanga vasina runako rwaHilda Mayeka. But kuti uonekwe unge uine chauinacho ka. Kune vanenge vakashata saApostle Chiwenga vari kwachiko kuti vari kuenda vari kudzoka hazvioneke. Ivo kana vafa pazina. Pastor Baloyi. kana usina kumboita zvako kana girlfriend yapungu zvake aiwa kutobva warova.
Yeah, but Apostle, one other thing which is disheartening is the fear around the whole matter.
Yes.
That even the war veterans themselves,
they are afraid.
They are afraid to challenge the matter, to say, here are the children, let's talk about it and also let's address it.
When you have an organization that cannot self-introspect, it's not a strong organization, it's a cult. Even in our church, you must be able to come to me and say, Apostle, we want you to explain this to us. How did this happen? How are these things happening? This is a serious matter. Many graves contain the remains of those who died in the battlefront. And then it's not addressed. Everyone is saying, this matter is serious. My second demand is that there be compensation both to the women who were abused. Firstly, the government must pay part of that compensation. It is the government that censored these women for the past 45 years. Our government is complicit. But we must also hold the perpetrators accountable. They must be garnished if possible, so that they make a contribution to hold them personally liable. Nobody went to war in search of women. Makanga maenda kutsvaga vakadzi here baba. Kuizvi makazozvitanga sei? Takanga tiri kuhondo kani? And then we must compensate these children for the horror that they went through to this day. This must be done also by the government. The government must compensate, not create these fake organizations where they are given fake posts that are of no consequence to their future families. These people are traumatized. When you listen to them talking, you can sense even now that they are also afraid to talk about their horrors which they went through. We must be ashamed as a society that we are not willing to talk about the things that are affecting some of our brothers and sisters. We must say, shame on us. But our government has been like this from the beginning. 12-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls are getting pregnant right as I speak now in churches like the Marange Church. And our government knows it. Our government gets votes from Marange Church. They will never speak about it. Think about it. If Pastor Balo had gotten a 12-year-old girl pregnant, how many people will be talking about it every day? Marabauma, maprofita, maprisite kwa marangi. Kutaura kuno varu kugara nevana, vane ma 12 years, vane ma 13 years. Some of them are dying trying to give birth. They do nothing about it. They say nothing about it. You understand? But what they do is when they see somebody who is vocal and they can't pin anything on him, they create stories that are funny and they push it so much, trying to rile up the crowd to speak against you and causing you to forget the important issues in our society. One raid at any time at Marange Church, the police can come back with not less than 100 children who are being used by elderly men as wives. Zanu PF knows about it. They do nothing about it. Mutendi bullies so many people who come to him and challenge him. He keeps guns in his house. So many people were harassed. Some even died mysteriously. He has never been investigated. Mutendi ani mahooligans ake. How many buses of the Zion Church overturned and killed the Zion people? Number one, have you ever heard about an investigation? Have you ever heard him being called to the police station? Nothing. Because those are their comrades. But we are not going to stop talking about this. Let us watch the last video.
Takakupai nyaya ya mukoma Tonderai Gabriel Mugabe. Yakanga iri nyaya yavaititsanangurira kuzvarwa kwavakaitwa. Munhu akazvarwa munguva yehondo vari kuchimoyo. Mukoma Tonderai vakatsanangura makuriro avakaita, matambudziko avakazosangana navo semwana akazvarirwa muhondo. Vakawanda tinoziva kuti makashamisika vachitaura kuti aiwa inini ndiri mwana the late president Robert Gabriel Mugabe. Vakawanda makave nemibvunzo yakawanda, asi mukati chinopedza nyaya yese iyi ngavaende kuDNA. Sekuona kwamakaita, sekunzwa kwamakaita ndio zviripo zvakabuda kuDNA. Pakutaura namukoma Tonderai takazoona kuti kune vana vakawanda vakazvarirwa muhondo asi vasina kuzvarirwa muno muZimbabwe, vari kusangana nematambudziko akasiyana siyana. Nhasi tabva tati aiwa mukoma Mambo Madimutsa chimbouyai tigare pasi timbonzwawo kuti upenyu hwenyu semwana akazvarirwawo kuchimoyo munguva yehondo hwange hwakamira sei kana kuti hwakamira sei? Mukoma Mambo makati zvino
tiripo makasimbo here?
Aiwa tiripo. Ari sei mabasa?
Mabasa ari nani.
Ari nani ka?
Ari nani.
Handitika. Aiwa tinofara. Sekunzwa kwamaita mukoma Mambo. Mazuva apfuurayo ndakaita hurukuro namukoma Tonderai vakazvarirwa kuchimoyo. Ndiri kuzobudawo kuti aiwa nemumwe muri kuona uyochi ndio nyaya iripo. Handitika. Takunzwa imi kubva pamakatanga kuziva kunzwa nyaya yenyu ichironzi Mambo mwanangu iwewe wakazvarwa kwakati upenyu hwako hwakamira so.
Ndatenda. Rega ndikutsanangure nyaya yakaitika. Vanhu vanondiconfuse nenyaya yekuti nini ndiri munhu ari very close kuna Tonderai Gabriel Mugabe.
Okay.
So vanoti ndakazvarirwa kuchimoyo kuMozambique.
Okay.
Inini actually ndakazvarirwa kuhondo but kuri kuZambia.
Okay.
Andinoziva kuti vamwe vangu vari kuZambia, vamwe vari vamwe vangu saka by that time baba vangu inini vanga vakaassainwa kufamba nesvikiro rainzi Zambe Makoni.
Baba venyu
rainzi Malakaya Madimutsa. Vanga vakasainwa naformer chairperson weZanu PF vainzi comrade Herbert Chitepo. Saka zvichireva kuti ivo vanga vakanyanyo assainwa kuri kusaidi rekuZambia, although vakazoenda zvavo kuMozambique later on. So isu kuzvarwa kwatakaita takazvarwa zvakaomarara. Vanhu vanongotadza kuzozvinzwisisa. Ndakanzwa kune non-combatant cadres vaitotaura vaitoti aiwa ava vana vakazvarwa kuhondo vana. Kwete isusu hatisi vana, tiri varume vakazvarwa kuhondo asi zita redu rinongozonzaro children born in the liberation struggle. Ndimbokudzoserai backward. Inini ndiri national chairperson weorganization inonzi ZHDF, County Zimbabwe Heroes Dependency Forum. Takatiso ndichatenda president wedu vamunangagwa nekuti rangarira vakatirangarirawo tikapuwa funding yedu yatakapuwa yema dependency. Tikazopuwa zvekare funding yema non-combatant cadres kunova kwandakanyonyorerekera semwana akazvarwa kuhondo, saka ndakabva ndatayiwa kumadependence uku ngakuende madependence. Inini ndinoda yangu yekuzvarwa kwandakaita kuhondo because ndiri non-combatant cadre by virtue yangu yekuzvarirwa kuhondo. Nekuti zvanga zvakaomarara, vanga vasiko ndio vanogona kuzotaura nhoroondo dzekwavasina kuswera. Kuzvarwa muhondo hachisi chinhu chiduku. War veteran munhu anga ari nani nekuti anga ane pfuti yake yekuzvidefenda. Isusu tairarama nokuda kwema-war veterans. Zvaitika muhondo ndezvekudai. Mwana akasiyiwa ari pasi, hazvina kuti ndewani kana kuti ndewani, aingoya achinhongwa. Kwaaendeswa akasa-identifyiwa, kwaaendeswa ikoko zvatovharana zvakadaro. Saka kwaifiwa ende vanhu vainyanya kufa tisu vana because tanga singakwanisi kuzvidefenda. Ende mukatoona kazhinji kacho muchitaura nesu so mukanyanyotarisisa vana vakazvarwa kuhondo muchitaura nesu munoona tinenge tichiswedera padhuze tekeda kuti tinzwe. Nzeve idzi hadzinzwi nenyaya yekuti kuputika kwaita mabara, kuputika kwaita mabhomba. Nzeve dzema-war veterans vechikura vanga vari vanhu vaitoziva kuti tiri musituation iyoyo, saka they were prepared zvinhu izvozvo and they were trained kuti zvinhu izvozvo zvichaita sei zvichaitika. But isusu nekuda kwekuti takaberekerwa ikoko, handiti muri kuona, tanga tiri vana vachechi, waingozonzwa kuti bhumu usingazoti kana nzeve dzako dzatoenda zvatovharana zvakadaro, kana maziso aenda atovharana zvakadaro. Saka ndinodawo kuti president vedu vaMnangagwa, chichemo chandiroda kuti tisvitse kwavari ndiwo commander in chief, variwo zvekare first secretary vepati yedu yeZanu PF. Kune vamwe vana vatiri kukwanisa kunosvika kwavari, vamwe vakatodimbuka makumbo kutoti vatonzwa maprograms akadai kunzi vana vakazvarwa kuhondo muri kubatsirika makadai, havakwanise kuaccessa zvinhu izvozvo. Saka zvinhu zvandaitokumbirawo kuti president vedu vagozonyanyotarisisawo ipapo. Ndichavatendawo kuburikidza na-advisor wavo, special advisor wavo vatungwarara nemari dzavakatipa. Hatiri kutenda. Zviri kuratidza kuti zvakutanga kufamba ende zviri kuratidza kuti ende vanhu vari kuratidza kuti iko zvinezvi now they understand kuti mari dzatiri kupiwa ndedzemaproject ende dzinofanira kuti dzidzoserwe. Handiti muri kuona, ndo matambudziko atiri kunyanyosangana nawo sevana vakazvarwa kuhondo. Kozoita nyaya yema-estates. Nyaya yema-estates iri kunetsa.
This is another one. His name is Brother Mambo Mandimutsa. Yeah, it's very sad. I won't speak much to this one. He has spoken. We have also put the link of the entire video in the description for you to view this, and we want to continue to thank our brother Robert Tafumane for interviewing these men. Bit by bit, slowly but surely, the truth is coming out. As you can see, this video was recorded on the 18th. Yes, it's a day or so ago. It's the work that Brother Robert Tafumane is doing, and we feel that it's also confirmation that when the true church us speak, we are being heard. And we want to thank God who is speaking into the hearts of his people. Because myself and these other ministers I work with, we have no capacity to convince people to stand up like this. Mm-hmm. These people are being moved by God. Even though these guys are saying they want to thank the president, it's shameful when you hear what they are thanking the president for. The president is creating organizations for these people and giving them positions. Brother Tundirai is a national commissar for an organization called Children Born in the Liberation Struggle. Brother Mambo Mandimutsa is a member of the Zimbabwe Heroes Dependence Forum. How many organizations do we need for the same people? This is politicking with a sensitive matter. We want to ask our president to behave like a man, a mature man. Toda kukumbira vamunangagwa kuti vagoita semunhu mukuru, vagogona kuita better than zvakaitwa navamugabe. Hatisi kuda ma-organizations ezanu anojoiniswa vanava. Vanava vasi vana vezanu, vana veZimbabwe. Hatisi kuda kuti vanava vatange nekupuhwa maloni avanozodzorera. Ipapa dai ataura mari yavakapuwa naMnangagwa, maiseka imi. Haisi mari inombobatsira vanhu. Think about it, that if there was any compassion in the president, instead of buying Muparinga a GD6, why couldn't he give these children farms and farming equipment to take care of themselves?
Yes.
Why wouldn't he give them tractors or industrial machinery? Instead of giving Jah Praise an expensive car, why not start a company? Send them to special training and give them the company to run it for themselves. Like what China does. China trains you, starts a company, and gives you the capacity to run the company. Monitors your progress, making sure you don't abuse the funds. And then you create jobs, you take care of your family, and so forth. And what I was saying earlier on, that these people have more traumatic experiences than trained soldiers during the war.
Yes,
He said it himself.
Yes.
Now, we are demanding, as the true church, that the government, and not Zanu PF, calls for a national meeting where every child born in the war should attend, and that the other things I said earlier on should take place. Those who took advantage of young girls in the battlefront, they should apologize, not only to the people that they victimized, but they should apologize to the nation. And if they are holding senior government official offices and positions, they must step down. They don't deserve to be in the cabinet. They don't deserve to be in the parliament. You are not a leader if you do that. You are not a leader. Kuondo kwatiri kutaura uku. Hakusi kupungwe kana kuti kupfonda kwainzi vanhu vakaidanana zvavo kupfonda. Vane vachinakidzwa zvavo vachiita zvavo ngoma yavo. Hapana, kwakuri kuhondo. Kwanga kuri kuhondo, Pastor.
Yes.
And we want the government to offer scholarships to children of these children.
Oh, yes.
Because they are now old, but they never got a chance to get a proper education. The government is at fault. Because if the government had taken responsibility early enough, in 1980, 1981, 1985, 1987, these Mambos and the Tonderais could have gotten quality education. They could now be able to take care of their children. The government must pay school fees for these men and women's children. They created this mess. They must fix it. Otherwise, we will continue to be spewed out of our nation as a result of the case that I spoke about. I was thinking in the afternoon that there are families that sent their daughters to the war. And when they were being deployed back in the country, they were not deployed in their villages for obvious reasons. So they hosted comrades. They were forced to slaughter their fowl, their goats and their cattle to feed the comrades. How do you feel these parents, how do you think these parents feel now when they start to think that maybe the comrades we slaughtered our cattle for are the ones which raped my daughter? Comrade vaya vaishaura tora sabhuti ende papungwe veve. Ndivo vakanga vamitisa mwana wangu kuhondo. Inchiti mwana aenda kunorwira nyika. Mwana wangu anga akazvitakura. Fei chungu anozviziva. The only chance that people like Fei Chung have is to make confessions before they die. Otherwise, they will not see any heaven based on their contribution to the violations of the girl child at such a precarious time. People like Joyce Mjuru can equally speak about this if they care about our nation. These things happened 45 years ago. There's nothing to protect anymore. But they have to be addressed. And we are speaking vociferously like this because we are running out of time. Both the victims and the perpetrators, they now have a short window before they die. And so our history is going to continue to be in contest. You now understand why I said the history you studied in school is bogus history. Pastor, did you read about Osibisa in your history books?
No.
Pastor Balo, did you read about Osibisa?
I was actually surprised.
All right, believers. That's what I wanted to share with you. And my friends, I want those that are in the corridors of power to know that fixing our nation will not happen with the continued victimization. There are so many people who died for talking the truth. You won't fix a nation by trying to kill those who are speaking up or by trying to smear them up so that people won't listen. This issue now is actually an important issue to the whole nation. And we know what we are talking about. We can stand in court and defend ourselves if need be. We have the facts. We have witnesses. If we had a proper and a fair criminal justice system, but we don't have.